Welcome back to this episode of Dialed In Angling. This week we are on Lake Winnie. I'm joined by my good friend, Nate Brown. We are out here to get in the Yetti. It's been nasty cold the last few weeks. I cannot wait to film in the Yetti, get the big screen set up, and get dialed in. What I love about Lake Winnie, it's a great multi-species lake. It's got a ton of structure, and if you're in the right area, you're gonna catch perch, walleyes, maybe even some burbot. We're gonna get after it. You know, it's so important to do the scouting first. Get dressed up in warm gear before you decide to set up that Yetti. It's so important to be on that exact location where you wanna be. Plus you wanna find a lot of fish before you decide to set up. I know it's cold and nasty, we wanna get in the Yetti, but this portion is so important to being in the exact spot you wanna be in. I think we should back up a little bit and maybe get on that real tight lip. Looks like maybe there's even a little bit of gravel and rock on top. The cool part about my Yetti, it's literally push button hydraulics, so I can already start lowering the house before I get out of the truck in the heated cab. It's so nice. I can move this Yetti just about as fast as I can move a portable fish house. It's so nice. So if you want to stay mobile in a wheelhouse, you can absolutely do so. I always leave the back end of my Yetti up when I'm drilling my holes. That way I don't have to slush anything. I can just drill the holes, let the slush fly out to the side, drop the house, I'm fishing, I'm not carrying slush buckets and dealing with all that. All right, Nate, I'm liking this spot. The house is warm. We're right on the edge of this break. If you look over here, 20 feet literally on the other side of this house is the top of this flat. It drops super fast. So we're kind of on that top edge of the break. It dumps out into 35 feet of water on the other side of us. We're kind of running the house parallel with the break. I like that, so you're not sitting with some lines way up top and some deep. I really like this being on this kind of this top lip. I think they're gonna run this. Got a good shot at getting perch, walleyes, maybe even some burbot here. Okay, for our dead stick setup, instead of using a rattle reel, we've got a simple dead stick rod. This is the Bait Striker dead stick rod and reel combo from 13, but I've got a drop shot on here. As you can see, I've got a small little tungsten drop shot weight, about 1 foot of leader material, and then just a normal VMC octopus hook, but we're tail hooking our shiners. That way, when you get into the depths of winter like this, if you're using a dead stick, what happens, or even a rattle reel, what happens is the minnows like to swim away from those fish and they'll get outside that strike zone. When it's super cold like this, those fish don't want to work for their bait, so they'll come in. If that thing swims outside their strike zone, they're not going to hit it. However, if you pin that to the bottom with the drop shot, you tail hook your minnow, as soon as a walleye, a pout, whatever comes in, that minnow is going to go crazy and they'll sit and analyze it. And I guarantee you're going to get more hookups this time of year by using drop shot versus your conventional dead sticks. Fish on.
As soon as it hit the bottom.
It's decent, huh, Nate?
Nice little eater.
Heck yeah. Take that any day of the week. You know, I watched on camera, the perch just cleared out and then momentarily Nate catches a walleye.
Looks good. There he is. Came in and hammered it.
That was cool to watch. The strike was cool anyway.
Yeah, that was fun.
Dialed In Angling, brought to you by Strike Master Maven, Rapala, Runnings, and by Heat Hog.
toast.
There you go, Nate.
There we go.
Ooh, that's a good fish, huh? I'll take bonus walleyes. We're not even a prime bite yet. Oh yeah, that one's on it.
Yeah. This one wasn't gonna let it go.
There we go, Nate. On the perch board, buddy. I'll take that. Winnie's always been known for perch. I love catching perch. Winter months, it's one of my favorite things to do. Perch are rolling in, Nate. There's quite a few on camera. I've been cruising in and out. Big perch, little perch. Action, man. I like it. Not terrible. That was cool to see. I love using underwater cameras throughout the day. When it's clear like this on a lake like Winnie and you're catching fish, I mean, not a giant perch, but still fun to watch. I just love seeing them strike. You know, that's what keeps it fun and makes it fun on Winnebagosh is just the fact that you're always catching something, you know. Perch, walleyes, I'm hoping for some burbot, pike. I mean, it's constant. And so it makes for a really fun wheelhouse experience, that's for sure. And having the underwater camera down, next level. Gator time. You're netting your own gator. I'm going back to perch fishing. Nate, what's cool is we're on an absolute cliff. The structure's behind us. It's a big flat behind us and then dumps into nowhere. But look at the amount of bait that's coming through. It's absolutely nonstop. I mean, that's a good sign. That's going to bode well for evening here. I really liking what I see here. I like our setup. I like where we're at, where we're structured on the edge, just before it dumps and before it goes up on that flat. And of course, the amount of bait that's coming through. These are all good signs. That's why I like having the underwater camera down. I have the forward-facing sonar down. It paints the best picture of what's going on down there. And man, it's cool. You learn so much by having this technology. It's not just something to look at. It truly is an absolute tool. Little lunchtime. A few brats. Our fish house feast.
All right, Tony's settled into the ice shack, and the last handful of fish that they've caught have come fishing aggressively on the jigging spoon. But this right here is the shiner on his bait striker rig, and I want to explain why this setup can help you catch more fish. As the winter wears on, the depth of the ice and snow on top can limit how much sunlight penetrates down to the weeds. Weeds start to die, oxygen levels deplete, and these fish are becoming more lethargic and less likely to chase. Let's take a look at this minnow on the bait striker rig. Now you can see he's got it hooked on the belly right here, and he's got the weight right here, holding it, basically pinning it to the bottom. And this minnow looks like a wounded fish that cannot get away. This is an easy meal, and this is much different than the traditional way of hooking a shiner. This right here is how I think most people would hook their shiner on a set line, right underneath the dorsal fin. Tony has it hooked currently in the back right here, like this, and it changes just how this minnow can swim. It can't escape, it can't swim quite as far. I also will often tail hook my minnow just like this. It also changes just how this minnow can escape and get away. Now what I like to do is, if I have multiple set lines, I'm gonna hook a minnow differently on each one of them until the fish tell me exactly what they want and what they're willing to chase. Winter is wearing on. Sometimes you have to try something different like this to catch the fish. Experiment with your set lines, and you might be surprised how many big walleyes you catch when other people don't.
Dialed In Angling, brought to you by Rapala, L&M Fleet Supply, and DeWalt, 13 Fishing, and by Voyager Industries, the makers of Yetti Fish Houses.
So I like to hang that bottom lip on that bait keeper, that moon eye, and then like I said, you want to have a little bit of slack in your quick strike, and then just hang that treble on the bottom. That way that bladed treble will work in the water column. It's going to sit a little more horizontal for you that way. I like having that quick strike rig on there because, especially when the pout come in, they're inefficient feeders sometimes and they slash at baits, and the more volume you can have on there, the better. But as you can see, this bait sits pretty horizontal in the water column with that minnow rigged up like that. And then you can see that blade twitching on the bottom. That is my favorite go-to pout pounding rig. I like to beat the bottom, hit the rocks, see how the silt's flying up here, and then bring that bait back up in the water column. And I can keep that in front of the pout's face. So as we get towards low light here, this will be my pout rig. I'll have a 1-2 punch. I'll have a spoon on one rod for walleyes or pout. And then of course, this is my secret weapon, the moon eye. Look at, you can see shiners, you can see perch. Look at that.
Yeah, just a cool mix.
I mean, it's just a huge wave of bait. Love seeing that. Look at that. Endless forage. Look, it's still coming. It's just like a wave of bait coming through. I mean, you can see why walleyes and burbot and everything kind of ambush on these points, because it's just, it just corrals that bait. You can almost see them 10 feet down. That's wild. You gotta catch that one now.
Fine.
Oh man, that thing came up 20 feet in the water.
He was not gonna quit.
Wild. Dude, that was like a lake trout. Yeah, here he goes. Nice perch. Heck yeah. I like seeing that. I saw a few cruising in. Bonus walleyes, bonus perch. Why not? They're all bonus to me. They're all fun. It's warm in here. We're catching fish. What can be better? All right, as the sun's starting to get low in the sky, I've got my Burbot workstation set up here. I've got a Burbot rod. I still have a spoon down with a minnow head over here so I can do the 1-2 combo, walleyes, Burbot. But I just want to talk a little bit about some Burbot presentations. The one thing that's common with all these baits I have over here is they're all bright glow colors. That's imperative. You know, Burbot have very bad and very poor eyesight. That bright glow color is essential. Now I've got a couple different presentations. I've got some jigging wraps, slab wraps. I like those bigger horizontal profiles. They can feel that. I pound the bottom with those baits. They both glow. And of course I've got some spoons with dressed trebles, like the rattle and roach spoon, even the hatchet spoon. They come with that marabou treble. It adds volume to your bait. So if you're using minnow heads, sometimes I'll glob on tails, minnow heads, that sort of thing. But I liked that dressed treble. Now, if I'm fishing a heavier rattle spoon that doesn't have a dressed treble, I've got some dressed trebles I can put on there. And then of course, I've got the neon moon eye jigs with that quick strike rig that I'm gonna rig a horizontal shiner minnow on there. And one key essential item, I know a lot of other burbot fishermen use them, are bait buttons. All you gotta do is go over the top of the hook itself and then slide that bait button. See that? That's gonna keep that bait on longer. And so if you beat the bottom, those things usually just flop right off, especially like shiner heads. But if you throw a little bait button on there, like so, boom, that's gonna stay on a lot longer. It's gonna prevent those baits from falling off, and you're gonna be able to fish a lot longer, just only reeling up to glow your baits up. Ooh, that's a nicer fish.
Coming up.
Ooh, there you go, Nate. Oh yeah, heck yeah. That's a great sign when it's not even dark yet and the powder's showing up. There we go. Target species. Way to start us out, buddy. Look at that. Glow spoon. Absolutely inhaled. Let's see the big toad belly on them. Not too shabby. I'll take that for the first pout of the night. Daytime pout. Gotta love it. All right, man. I'll let you hold your fish. I'm gonna get back to fishing.
Dialed In Angling, brought to you by Skidoo, Markham Technologies, Otter Outdoors, and by Onyx Fish.
The wheelhouse staple right here. I think there's more frozen pizzas sold in Minnesota during ice season than any other time of year. Heck yeah, bud. I watched that unfold. That is so cool to watch. Heck yeah, not a giant burbot, but cool looking one. That one's nice and dark. They never stop moving. Look at that. Cool, Nate. Not a monster, but aggressive. And that's what's cool this time of year is, you know, fishing multi-species like we're doing today. You get a mix of all sorts of different species. We saw a wave of walleyes coming through. Now the burbot are starting to fire. That's super cool.
Good thing we're eating pizza, not pout. His lucky day.
So when I'm fishing in this scenario where there's lots of walleyes around, tons of burbot, other species, perch and whatnot, I like running 2 rigs like this, and it's for good reason. Like this rattle and roach spoon here, tipped with a minnow head, I'm still gonna catch walleyes on it. Obviously perch that come in, burbot are gonna hit that. Also, I like to have 2 glow rigs down. And what's nice about having 2 rods like this, I can glow one up, get it back down, be in the water, be in the game, and then as soon as I get this one back down, if I need to charge this one up, about every 5 to 10 minutes, I like charging them back up. I'll pull my big pout rig up, charge that with my LED light, and then quickly get that one back down as well. And the biggest difference between that great big jig head and this spoon is the fact that, you know, even though walleyes will hit the big jig head, they're more likely to hit the spoon. But also with this giant jig, I can really pound the bottom. And then of course, if they won't hit that rig, You know, a lot of times you'll pick them up on this spoon. There we go. Fish on, Nate. Oh yeah. Definitely a burb. There it is, Nate. Burbot. I'm on the burbot board, my friend. Not a giant, but we have had an absolute awesome day in the wheelhouse. It's nasty cold outside. It's the doldrums of winter, and yet we positioned the house in the area. We did a little research on the front end. We had the live scopes out. We just didn't settle for sitting on a spot that we saw on our map chip. We actually went out, did the work, and put in the work ahead of time to get into an unbelievable spot where we caught everything, right? We caught perch, we caught pike, we caught walleyes, and we got burbs. I'd say mission accomplished.
Very good day.
Heck yeah, this is wheelhouse fishing. We had some good food, good eats. I'd say we were dialed in, my friend.